Hi everybody. Learning to adapt to being symptom free from mental health problems and mental illness. Now, being at that stage takes a bit of time. Everybody's different with their recovery and how long it takes them. Some people may get to a stage where in their recovery where they feel satisfied and easier to maintain their illness, but not completely symptom free, or not being symptom free, just being able to cope and manage with it. But some people get to a stage of working towards and focusing towards, and it do happen, of being symptom free. Symptom free from a illness means no symptoms of that illness. It doesn't happen straight away. If that's the case, if when people are heading towards that and may get to that stage, it doesn't happen. It takes a long time to get to that stage. A lot of hard work from your own self-help care, personal care, treatments, the stages of recovery, your support networks in that recovery as well. But eventually, some people over time, and it's different for everybody as well, getting to those stages of being symptom free. So it's different, like everybody's different in their recovery, how long it takes them. Some are quicker than others, but it takes a while, it takes a long time. But starting to become symptom free, it could be first part of a day or a couple of hours. It may come in waves, like a roller coaster. You may have a couple of hours. It might start off small. You may have a couple of hours of being completely symptom free. You may have an whole morning of being symptom free, or an afternoon, or certain parts of the day of being symptom free. And then over time, it becomes more frequent. It starts to become more frequent, like having whole days of being symptom free and things like that. Now, at first, like I said, it could be a roller coaster. Now my partner's at that stage and he's been getting whole days of being just completely symptom free. I mean, he suffers with schizophrenia, and it's quite a serious illness, really, and he's worked hard through it, of his own personal routine self-help care, and throughout it, it's took him a long time really to get to this stage. But he's been for a long time now been having symptom-free mornings, where he used to have great difficulty in the mornings. That was one of his worst sort of times, the mornings. And now for a long time he's been waking up and throughout the whole morning symptom free, no symptoms there at all. Now that's been occurring for a long time, and then recently he started to have, say, the morning and maybe another part of the day where he's been symptom free. It's been like a roller coaster, and there's been a few times recently as well that he's had symptom free whole days where the illness just isn't there, the symptoms are not there. So it is possible to do, but it's learning to adapt to when you do start to become symptom free, when you have those breaks or days when you are symptom free. It's learning to adapt to things that throughout your illness, where if depending on your situation and what the illness is, but a lot of the time your reality, a lot of the time you go drawn within yourself, and the reality of normal things are becomes more harder to distinguish and notice, because you're focusing more on your inner and what is going, like with your symptoms, how it affects how it affects you, the illness. So it's learning to adapt to those kind of things, like that you may not I've noticed and been aware of so much throughout your illness, things you missed out on, things that you may think that, like just the simplest things, like what everybody gets, the normal things that you can quite mistake that it is your illness playing at. Like, we can all feel restless, getting restless. We could all get agitated sometimes. We could all feel a bit angry sometimes. Those things are normal things. And when you start to become symptom free, it's learning to recognize those things are normal. That most part of us, many of us, probably all of us, from time to time, do feel that. It's emotions. It's learning, you learn to be able to feel your emotions better, because sometimes you may become withdrawn but numb around your emotions, not being able to feel those emotions, how we all do sometimes. Sometimes there's maybe a block there, but it's all about adapting to the things that are the normal reality in the world. The things that do, like I just said, like feeling restless, just the simplest things like that. Now, having a mental illness for so long and learning to adapt that, wow, yeah, feeling restless, it's not my illness. It's not my illness making me feel like that. It's how we are sometimes. It's little things. It could be other things, noticing, like when you're out on walks, noticing, being aware. You start to recognize and be aware more of the outer world, the reality of learning to live in the world in a better way. So yeah, symptom free is learning to adapt to the norm. Sometimes we may think, what is normal? But it's learning to adapt to those things that you've missed out on throughout your illness, and recognizing that is normal to be like that. That is normal to do that. It's not my illness making me feel like that or be like that. We all have emotions. We all have feelings. We all feel negative from time to time. We all feel positive from time to time. We can all get stressed out from time to time and get into difficult situations. It doesn't mean to say, because of those things, that you have a mental illness. It's normal. It's life. It's how life is. And it's learning to adapt to that and recognize those things when you start to have those symptom-free times. I can only but imagine that having symptom-free times or days from an illness that you've had to manage and try to cope with for however long, it would be quite amazing to feel those symptom-free times, and just feel it in a good way, and be proud that you've got to a stage where you're able to have symptom-free times. And a lot of it as well is all about what you put into it. You know, you look back, you see what you're doing, the routines, the self-help care that you do yourself that helps you to maintain your illness, and it makes you feel like what you're doing is working, and it gives you more of a confidence there to persist with it. But it's all about, when having mental health problems, you have to persist at what you're doing, and it's battling, really, it's working hard to get to where you want to get to, and having those times, learning and adapting to symptom-free times and days or whatever, you know, it's like a break from that illness. And over time, it becomes more, it can become more frequent, because my partner, it just started with the mornings, being able to, a break really, symptom-free mornings, being able to enjoy, that's the thing as well, being able to enjoy those things, the simplest things, without your symptoms getting in the way, the illness getting in the way of how you're feeling, being able to enjoy life better. So yeah, my partner, it started off with just the mornings symptom-free, and it took a while, but the more he has a routine, which is very important, I would say a routine is very important to help with your mental health and to help with our well-being as well. But then it took a while, and he started to have more frequent symptom-free times. He's had, like I said, symptom-free days, and it is possible to do. You know, some people get to that stage where they're able to have those symptom-free times and start to overcome and alleviate those symptoms more and more. Like I said, it's all about what you do in your journey, the persistence there, to be able to have those breaks, those symptom-free times. You know, is having goals set out, routines, having something in place that's going to benefit you for the future, to help you get to that better place as well. So yeah, this video was about learning to adapt and recognize when you have those symptom-free times, learning to adapt to the things that are normal, that everybody experiences. Like I said, within ourselves, like the stresses, the stressors, the stressful situations, feeling restless. We could all feel restless from time to time, angry. We all have emotions, and from time to time, them emotions start to occur. We start to feel them in some sort of a way, whether it's happy, sad, angry, or also those emotions are there, and we use them from time to time, how we're feeling within ourselves. But it's learning to recognize that it's normal to be like that. You know, you don't have to have a mental health problems if you feel sad, if you know, and so forth. It takes more than that for a mental health problems to start to progress and take place. And it's just the fact that when that happens, it's just things become a bit more difficult to do, to feel as well. Feeling your emotions, it becomes a bit more difficult when you have mental health problems. But over time, it gets easier. those things get easier over time with what you do to help with it, treatments and support networks as well. You know, so learning to adapt to reality, life as it is when you become symptom free. You know, anybody out there watching this video that do have those breaks, do get those symptom free times, should be proud of yourself, because it takes a lot. Having a mental illness, mental health problems, it takes a lot of hard work and persistency to get to those stages. So you should be proud of yourself and feel good about it as well. And when you have those symptom-free times or days, enjoy them. And remember, always remember, when you have those if you have those bad times, that when you have those bad times, remember, it gets easier, and you have good times as well. So I'm going to end the video there. Please share this video. Don't forget to give us a like, and see you in the next video.